Welcome everybody to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the COVID unvaccinated policy, right? So there's a lot of news going out there, right? As you can see, I'm here in the hookah. Kwame Brown, I'm gonna have to let you know something real quick, brother. Your hookah ain't hitting. So maybe you might have to fly some Latinos, some Dominicans out there to get your coals right. But this is how the hookah should be hitting, my brother. You see that? You see that, Kwame? Your hookah ain't hitting like that, Kwame. I could teach you a few things, Kwame. But anyways, as you can see, I got my Jamal Adams jersey, 33. Shout out to the Jets. Marcus May. We taking over this yet? Like and subscribe to the channel, fellas. Like and subscribe to the channel. So we're gonna get straight to it, right? Richard Dennison, who was the offensive line coach of the Vikings, was basically fired because he refused to get the vaccine. He's a tier 1 personnel, so that means that he would have to prove that he had a religious exemption from getting the vaccine, right? So we're gonna pull up the link right now. As you can see, Richard Dennison's job as Vikings offensive line coach in limbo after refusing COVID vaccine. Now, this brother right here, let's show the people this brother right here. He is a hero. We need more people out there, NFL, NBA, etc., etc. We need y'all being vocal in this aspect right here. If you don't want the vaccine, you need to get the vaccine, and you shouldn't be fired for getting the vaccine. So, to Rich, you are a legend, and I aspire to be like you one day, to have that courage, that mental fortitude to deny the vaccine, right? Not only is this brother not wanting to get the vaccine, right? Also, you have to consider what's going to be the ramifications for Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook was the star rushing running back for the Vikings. So with this guy out the mix, it's going to be really interesting to see how this goes forward. So as you can see, let's see, you got a bunch of idiot NFL players, right, saying this is Marlon Humphreys, the star cornerback from the Vikings, not from the Vikings, from the Ravens. And he's saying, get the vaccine, fellas. Why do you think he's saying get the vaccine? He's saying get the vaccine because he don't want his bag to be messed up, right? So the NFL has this new policy regarding if an outbreak is started and a lot of the players are not able to play, not only will they not get the check, that team get the check, but the other team will get the check. And whoever team that started the outbreak, they will have to forfeit that game. That is so insane. So the NFL did a pretty good job last season regarding that. The unfortunate thing with the Denver Broncos where they had like a wide receiver throwing at quarterback, and of course they lost that game. One of the main stars of this whole thing is the star receiver from the Buffalo Bills, Cole Beasley, right? So you got a lot of his teammates throwing shade at him now. You got Stefon Let's zoom in on this so you guys can see this. Stefon right? This brother is saying accountability, availability. That don't sound like no teammate to me. Did that sound like a teammate to y'all? And then you got another player, Jerry Hughes, who got in a little riff with Cole Beasley. And he's saying, so the top scientists in the entire world got together to figure out how to combat COVID-19. And when they came up with the vaccine, you questioned them. Now, he was replying from a tweet from Darius Butler, who basically said, I agree with you I'm also of a crazy thought that some medical decisions are selfish. It's a vaccine that absolutely no one has more than a year worth of actual research on. I should not take it. I should not take it not because I'm comfortable with it, but because question mark. So all these gullible NFL players, all they try to do is protect the bag, rightfully so. These guys are really these guys are already millionaires. The NFLPA already threw them under the bus. You keep on strolling down. You got Deandre Hopkins getting into the mix now, right? This is becoming a political nightmare once again for the NFL. Roger Goodell, you freaking suck, bruh. We need you fired. We got to start a petition to get Roger Goodell fired. As you see, the Daily Beast is saying the NFL COVID plan pisses off anti-vaccine players, but it just might work. So not only are they extorting players to get vaccinated, but they're entrapping these players to get vaccinated. So during the NBA season, right? LeBron, LeBron James, that fool, that bum. The rules ain't applied to him. You know why? Because he's LeBron James. But you know, Lou Williams, that's gonna be a big problem. You shouldn't be out there going to strip clubs and stuff like that, fool. You ain't LeBron James. What the hell is going on with you, brother? So you already see these leftist publications already putting pressure on the anti-vaxxers and mocking and ridiculing them, basically forcing them to get a vaccine, right? So back to Stefon right? Let's pull up that accountability, availability, right? That's so crazy to me. So here's my thought, right? Let's say Tom Brady wasn't he chooses not to get the vaccine. What is the NFL gonna do if Tom Brady, the biggest star in NFL, says I'm not getting the vaccine, right? What are they gonna do? I doubt they're gonna kick the can to him. Pretty sure they ain't. So, like I said, LeBron was seen out the bubble during the pandemic season, the season where he won the chip. But a guy like Lou Williams, the hammer falls on him. So clearly we see favoritism. Clearly we see the star player getting his way. Rightfully so, right? If y'all agree, like, make a comment, tell me what you disagree about, right? Now, the NFL, right, is a majority black league, right? So if 85% of the players are vaccinated and still getting COVID, is that racist towards the black players that don't want to get the COVID vaccine? I need to know what's the solution behind here, right? There are 1,696 players in NFL, right? So if 85% are vaccinated, that means 15% aren't vaccinated, right? So that's roughly 254 players, right? Now let's say that figure was off and it's actually 80%, right? So if it's 20% of players unvaccinated, that will mean that there's 339 players that's not been vaccinated, right? And this is not including practice squad players that make the roster, right? This is just the official 53-man roster. You see that, Kwame? That hookah busted, Kwame. So like a player for like Stefon right? Clearly he's a bad teammate, right? It's all about Stefon even when he was with the Vikings. It was always about Stefon I'm not getting enough touches. Dalvin Cook is getting the ball too much. I need my touches, right? So not only you got Stefon right? You got also Emmanuel Sanders, who was a free agent acquisition from the Bills this past season, right? And look what this fool does, right? I'm going to zoom in on this for you guys so you could see this. because this is just insane. Emmanuel Sanders says accountability, availability. Don't have no time to deal with no bullshit during the season. Wow, it sounds like they're really throwing their teammate under the bus, right? Now you start thinking, right? In 2020, Stefon had a career high 166 targets with 127 catches, right? Cole Beasley had a career high of 107 targets with 82 catches, both career highs. I think it's safe to say that Stefon Diggs wants Cole Beasley gone because he wants to get more targets. Emmanuel Sanders is old, not in his prime shape anymore, so he's not really worried about Emmanuel Sanders. So when Stefon Diggs is saying this type of stuff, and he's saying accountability, not availability, he basically saying, I'm going to get my targets, fool. So peace, right? So that boy Cole Beasley, that white boy, he might not be able to jump, but that white boy sure can jump. So we got another article here. Let's see. Cole Beasley questions teammate Jerry Hughes' tweet on COVID vaccine. So basically, Cole Beasley replied to Jerry Hughes. He said, Jerry, so if vaccinated players gives an unvaccinated player with underlying conditions COVID, is it cool though? Question mark. And the player with underlying conditions gets blamed for it. From the minority to the majority. Now the minorities don't matter. Now he was replying to something Jerry Hughes said. Jerry Hughes said, some people have underlying health conditions, so they're at risk. If the outbreak happens, wait, but Apple is just one company, not all of them tech companies in the world. So it's a big, huge mess going on in the NFL. Even so, that Mark Cuban replied to Cole Beasley saying, I tell you what, Cole, you get vaccinated and promote vaccinations on all your social, I'll buy your wife a share of Pfizer stock. It pays a 3.78 dividend. That's why she is getting a percentage of Pfizer earnings deal. So you see this big online campaign to mock and ridicule Cole Beasley. And it's not only Cole Beasley, it's other players like DeAndre Hopkins and Leonard Fournette, a bunch of other players. So this kind of rubs me the wrong way, right? They're already trying to get this man fired. As you see in this article, it says Cole Beasley essentially dares the Bills to cut him, right? Cole Beasley says 32-year-old whiteout says, yeah, cutting arguably the best slot in the league is wise, especially when the slot is such a significant role in the offense. This is going to get way worse from the NFL season on. It's just going to get way worse, right? So 2 days ago, I believe DeAndre Hopkins came out and he says, never thought I would say this, but being put in position to hurt my team because I don't want to partake in the vaccine is making me question my future in NFL. Now, DeAndre Hopkins had huge support from NFL players in the league. I'm going to pull that up for you guys right there. But what's your guys' opinion on that? Let me know in the comments. You see that, Kwame? That's how you hit the hookah, Kwame. But if my man DeAndre says 10 toes down, hey, the hood gonna love and respect you, brother. DeAndre Hopkins says, by the way, I got 9 more years in me. Y'all have a good day. So it seems like my brother is not gonna play the season, rightfully so. Jalen Ramsey says, hold on, this is very important. I'm gonna highlight this so you guys could definitely see this. Let me highlight that real quick. He says, I know 2 people right now who got the vaccine but are COVID positive. I'm just saying, I wouldn't look at the teammate as bad if he don't get the vax. No pressure from the 5, right? No pressure from the 5. See, that's a real brother right there. Not only that, you got Elliott Ezekiel Elliott chiming in. He said, "I got the vaccine just because I wanted to put myself in the best situation to be out there for my team week in and week out." So these brothers are doing it because they want the money, and they don't want to seem like the guy that's gonna be like, "Oh damn, Elliot, why you not playing this season? Just get the vaccine, bro. You're gonna be good. You're not gonna get no side effects, none. You nothing's gonna happen to you. You're not gonna have magnets sticking on your arm, none of that crazy stuff." So Matt Judon, the linebacker from the Patriots, who was a former player from the Ravens, he says the NFLPA effing sucks. They do freaking suck. They don't have their players back at all. The NBA Players Association, shit. Y'all need to come over to the NFL and get these boys right, because right now, whoever's in charge of that operation, they're failing these brothers horribly. So Leonard Fournette also says, vaccine, I can't do it. Las Vegas Raiders running back Jalen Richards says, read the rules, know them like you know your plays. We're playing in jail this year, and you should act like such. Now, I have a quick story for you guys, right? When I was in prison, we refused to get the flu vaccine. So they all put us in the hole. It was about like 25 of us. And they said, take the damn flu vaccine. Nothing's gonna happen. We just chose. It wasn't mandatory. It was voluntary. But since a huge number of us denied it, they basically forced it. They said, if you don't get the flu vaccine, your ass is staying in the hole. Is that right? Let me know if it's right in the comments. Please let me know. Now, as you can see, NFL informs clubs that COVID-19 outbreak among unvaccinated players could lead to a forfeit games. The NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reported that during the 18-week schedule due to COVID-19 outbreak among unvaccinated players, the team with the outbreak will forfeit and be credited with a loss, per sources informed on the situation. This is ridiculous, NFL. Look at this. Look at this crap. Look at this freaking crap. Let me highlight this, guys. Fully vaccinated players, no daily testing. Not fully vaccinated, testing required every day. Masks required at club facility during travel, must remain physically distant from others in the club, must quarantine at the high risk, travel restrictions in effect, 15-player limit in the weight room, players must be physically distanced in the meal room, may not eat with teammates. This is some North Korean bullshit. I think the North Korean president is in control of the NFL right now, fellas. This is a sad day. You may not leave team hotel to eat in restaurants, may not interact with anyone outside of the team traveling party. But if you got that good old vaccine, you may eat in the cafeteria. There's no travel restrictions. So even if you have COVID, even if you had the COVID vaccine and you have COVID and you get COVID and you spread it amongst your teammates, it's okay, brother. Take 1 week off. We're not going to hurt the team at all. Right? So we're going to go look at this crap. In light of today's memo sent by the NFL, we remind you that the same basic rules applied last year. If games were missed because of COVID-19 outbreak, nobody would have gotten paid. The only difference this year is the NFL decision to impose additional penalties on clubs which are responsible for the outbreak and the availability of the proven vaccine. The protocols we jointly agreed to help get us through a full season last year without missing game checks are ineffective when followed. You gotta start thinking, right? At what point I know a lot of businesses are already applying pressure on their workers there. They're saying, oh, if you don't get vaccine, you can't work here anymore. So this shit is going to spread like wildfire all throughout the nation. Now, Tom Pelissero also reports that unvaccinated individuals, including players, will also be prohibited from gathering outside of the club facility or team travel per memo. Major developments, media will be permitted. Let's major competitive implications. Fully vaccinated individuals exposed to COVID positive individuals won't be labeled a high risk. This is a giant mess for the NFL. Giant mess. If y'all disagree with me, let me know in the comments. Is this right? Is this wrong? Let me know. I'm of the opinion that this is a grave injustice to the players in the NFL, especially if you're unvaccinated. Because we know the tier one, they have religious exemptions. But what if the players have a religious exemption and they're still having this pressure, still being forced to retire for that season? Let me know, fellas. Like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and see you guys later. I'll have some more content for you guys later.